Have you ever watched The Price is Right? Have you ever wondered how people can spin that spinner and sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't? Are you yelling at the TV whenever you see a number and it's kind of like, don't spin again, don't spin again? Do you know why you're yelling at the TV? I don't know why you're yelling at the TV, but do you know how you can stop doing that? You can just figure out the probability so that if you're ever on it, on The Price is Right, you can get the maximum amount for the number of spins you have. Today, we're going to talk about that on Lead with Love. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Lead with Love. I'm Chris Greco, your host for the next 15, maybe 20 minutes, whatever it's going to take. But what I want to talk about today is The Price is Right. And The Price is Right is a TV show that's on, and everyone has to guess prices, and they have games and all these types of things. Well, the one thing they have in there is a spinning wheel, and you can spin this wheel, and you can get if you get a dollar, you get $1,000 or whatever it is, $10,000 or whatever. It's all has to do with probability because it's all random numbers, right? You think it is. You think it's random numbers. So what I did was today, it shows you that I'm retired because I can do this type of stuff and just spend all kind of time on this, but you know how it is. But what I did was I went ahead and I just did an entire Excel spreadsheet based on this whole situation on The Price is Right. I don't know if I'm allowed to say The Price is Right. I mean, they're not endorsing this. They haven't given me any money for this. They haven't done anything with this. It's a show. It's on TV. I love watching it. My wife loves watching it. We yell at the TV. We yell at the TV a lot, and I get it. So, anyways, that's basically what's going on. But I want to share this with you. So on the left-hand column, you see the number here is 5, 100, 15, 80, 35, 60, 20, all these. Those are the numbers when you spin. They usually start it on, I think it usually starts it on like a 15, but and you spin it this way, so it goes, this way. And these are the numbers that pass through. Now, every time, what I did was I put the numbers here. Then what I did was I randomized them. I randomized the first number. How do you do that? Well, you randomize. You randomize this right here. Boom, boom. That's it. And it takes every number and it randomizes it. So first number is going to be 60. Next number is 20. So this I randomized it twice. I randomized it here and I randomized it here. Now what I did was I had to put this. In fact, let me. I think it's Alt. Nope, Control. Yeah. These are the formulas. These are the formulas I used. You can take them down. You can do whatever you want with them. But this is what I did in order to try and put this stuff together. So these are the formulas all the way across. So you can see what I did here. So I'm going to share them with you. And so the first one was, of course, the numbers. As I said, this was randomizing these numbers for the first number. And then the second spin randomizes them again. Then it tells you, hey, did you win or lose? So if E2 here is less than or equal to 100, based on those two spins, because I total them here, then it's a yes. If not, then it's a no. So then I did an and here. If this is what happens if you get like a 50 or more, right? And C2 is 50, then F2 equals yes, true or false. So what this does is this says if I hit a 50 here, randomizing the numbers, and I still win, what's the percentage of me hitting a 50 the first time? And instead of walking away, I'm going to go ahead and spin again. And that tells me the percentage of those wins. So percentage over 50 that wins. Percent of what I did was, it's like I did 100 spins. It's like I spun it 100 times, brought it all the way down here to 100. See it? So I did it all the way to 100. So it's like I had 100 spins on this thing. And what's my percentage? In other words, if I get a 50 or more, should I walk away? Should I spin again or should I walk away? this kind of gives you the idea of, hey, what is that? And I can change this to whatever I want. I can change this to 55. I can change it to whatever I want to be, and then change that percent over 55 that win. And then percent over 65 that win. Now this is important, because in other words, do I want to walk away? Do I want to walk away, or if I get a 65, or do I want to play again? That's the thing, right? In other words, my first spin. This is the first spin. If I get a 50, if I get a 65. Now you can set these formulas, especially if you're good at Excel. You can take these and just go wild with them. But I wanted to show you what my examples were here, because I think that's pretty important. Okay, so let's say first number is 70. My second number is going to be 40. Right now, you notice every time I do this, it spins it, because it just randomizes again and again and again. To stop it from doing so, I can copy all these and just copy and paste to the same column, and it'll make them all numbers. So you don't have to worry about it changing every time. But I like it changing, because I want to see what's going on. Total 55, so I win. Yes, I do. So this is my first number. This is funny. If I get a 50 here, I get 100, so that's no good. But you notice here, do I have any hundreds here? Yeah, I do have 100. Walk away. You always walk away if you get 100, because of course you get the $1,000 or whatever it is, and they're not going to allow you to spin again. They're not going to allow you to spin again, so that's going to be a 0. And you notice here that this is what I have now. So let's take a look at this. The percent over 50 that win, right? If I have a percent over 50 and I flip again, I only have a 15% chance. 15% chance that I am not going to go over. An 85% chance I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over the 100 and I'm done. Why people don't walk away when they get 50s, I don't understand. They want to spin again. It's like, why are you doing that? You only have a 15% chance of beating the wheel. Forget that. Move on, right? And then percent over 65 that win, given that this is randomized and everything else, is 0%. Now, is it really 0%? Let me see. Yes, it is. It's 0%. So if you get a 65 and you spin again, you might as well just understand that you're going to walk away. You're not going to win. Now, let's say the person that is there that has just spun before you, then all the rules go away. If the person before you has 65 and you end up with a 50, you got to spin again. That's just the way it goes. This is if you're first, right? And this is if you're the first contestant up, or other people have gone over. You're the third contestant or second contestant. You're the first contestant to spin with nobody in front of you. These are the probabilities we're talking about. Now, this is just 100. I could do 1,000. I could do 2,000. I just did 100 because it was 100. But you can see this is 15% chance. If you percent over 50, if you're over 50, if you get a 50 or over, walk away. Okay, Drew, I'm going to go over here. Now, I have to tell you, I was going to wear a T-shirt, and if anybody wants to use this, go ahead, because it's not copyrighted. But I was going to get a T-shirt if I ever got the Price is Right. I was going to say, I knew Drew, for Drew Carey. I knew Drew when he was just draw. I just think that's such a good T-shirt. I hope somebody uses it. Give me credit if you want, please, Chris Greco. That'd be great. It'd be fantastic. But if not, I put it out there for you guys. I knew Drew when he was just draw. That'd be so great. Get on stage and tell you, hey, and you can say, hey, where'd you get that shirt? And he says, oh, Chris Greco thought of it, but I used it. And also, I'm going to beat that spinner today. Let me tell you, because I listened to his stuff, I listened to YouTube and all that. But anyways, so this is not that hard to set up. And if you want to play this, this is really cool. It's Maze Guy Big Wheel. I think it's what's called Maze Guy.net Big Wheel, and you can actually play this. Maze Guy has a simulator, and you can actually play it over and over and over again. You can spin soft, you can spin hard, whatever way you want to go, and it's really a neat It's really a neat game to play, but you can see here. So if you want to take a look and say, okay, what's my percent over? Okay, so let's say I want percent over, instead of percent over 50, I'm going to say percent over 40, right? So I'm going to say percent over 40, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to instead of greater than 50, I'm going to say percent equal 40, right? I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go down here. I'm going to say, let's say it's equal to 40. Well, right now it says it's 0. It's not going to, you don't get anything, right? So that's with C2 is equal to 40. So let's say, that's because, let's say, how about 40 or less, right? So I'm going to say less than 40, right? I'm going to try it this way. And still 0. So this is, if C2 is less than 40, F2 is yes. Let's see if is less than 40. See, I have 1 here, but this it must be a really small thing. And this is what happens whenever you, wait a minute, did I do that right? Is it C2? Yeah, it's C2. There's 40, 70. So I mean, sometimes it just doesn't work for you, pal. But this is, so I'm going to say if it's greater than 40. There we go. And we'll try it that way. Let's say no, still G2 true. See, it's saying all is false. Things you're going to end up. But here, you can see you win here, you win there. So this is, if it's greater than 40 and 40 or greater. Oh, I see. Yeah, 40 or greater. So, you know, you walk away, right? Or you don't walk away, you spin. You have to spin. So you're not going to win with just a 40. You got to spin again. So spin again at 40. Spin again at 45. Spin again at 50, right? So C2 is going to be 50. And you could, let me do this right. So spin again is greater than 50. We'll say greater or equal to 50. And we'll see how that works. Yeah. Say greater to or greater than 50, it's saying here on those spins that it just did that see greater than or equal to 50 and yes. So they're saying percent over 50 that wins is going to be 100%, which is totally wrong. That's not the situation. And it could be that, and then you get 0. I mean, it could be that I may have set this up wrong. It could be that there's something there that's bad, but I like greater than 50 because it seems to have a better deal than this. And this, and check my math on this, folks, because I may just be bad here. Greater and F2 is yes. You have to remember that this is a 50, right? If it's greater than 50, you got 75 here, you got 60 here. You're still winning if you're going to win here. And this is if E3 is less than or equal to 100, then you win. So that's a win. What I'm saying is if it's greater than 50 and you have a yes. So this can change, this percent changes because it constantly changes every single time, the randomness of both these numbers. So you're changing one number, then you're changing the next number. And it's just really interesting how that all works. So it's and that is probably my logic here is making it go nuts. But this is something that is very, very interesting. Let me change this again to 50 and we'll make it run again, recalculate. But I noticed that this thing is coming up way more false than it should. And that is because it's greater than 50. And you can see this is not greater than 50. So I have to say, should I put maybe greater than or less than 50, right? But then it covers everything. So you can't do it that way. You can't say it equals to 50 because then that's gonna give you a really interesting situation there. Um, but we'll do that, and then you can take a look and see what I've done here. I probably have messed it up totally. So it's equal to 50. So every time you have a 50 on the first one, you're going to have 50, and then you have no. So it's all randomization of those areas. So what does that mean? Does that mean you need to walk away if you're 50? All I'm saying is, I'm still saying, if you have a 50 or more, you should walk away from that situation. Let's say I get less than 50, and that should increase that somewhat. Now they're saying it increases it to 100%, which does make some sense that it's the percent under 50 that wins, right? Percent under 50 that wins. But you see that every time this goes, it's going to change that. So that could be a problem. I mean, every time this thing is going, it's changing because it's all randomness. Now, can I make this? This is you're okay if F2 to F101 is no. In other words, you're winning. Your win here is no and yeses. My no's is 58. So you're okay at if you're at 50, basically 58%. And we'll put percent here. You're at 58% if you are under. If you're every time you throw here. So every time you throw, you're about a 58%. Now, does that stay at 58%? I don't think so. And this is if I were to just flip it again and see what it shows this time, it says 48%. So that's a normal spin. That's when spin and then you spin, you're going to get a 58%, 48%. Now that's on 100 spins. My recommendation is to insert, insert some stuff here. Every time you insert it changes, like 47%. So it's interesting. Every time it changes, look at that changing. So 45%, and you can it goes to 55%. So you can see that this changes based on randomization. You randomize each one, but percent under 50 that wins. In other words, percent if the first one is under 50. They're saying 100%, but that's on random aspects. The bottom line on this whole thing is if you have below a 50, 45, 40, 35, whatever it is, spin again. Spin again. If you have above 50 and you're the first one up and you think that somehow or other you're going to spin that thing, you're going to get a 95 or 65 or 35, whatever else, let's take a look at that for a second. What are the chances of me spinning a 35, right, based on if I had a 50? Well, you have to remember this is sampling with replacement. This is not sampling without replacement. You don't take the 55 out when you spin. That 55 is still in there, so it counts. So everything is the same each spin. So you have the same number each spin. So if you have, you have one, you have, let's see, 2 to 20. So basically you have 19 shots here. So everything is 1 out of 19. So your percentage here is going to be about 5%, which makes sense. It's about 5%. So you have a 5% chance of getting a 35. You have 5% chance of getting, but let's say you have, a a 35, right? A 35. So you can get a 35, a 40. You can get a 35. You can get a 40. Now, let me change this back to whatever, to regular stuff. There we go. Yeah. So 35, a 40, you can get a 45, you can get a 50. What did I say? When is a 30? No. Okay, let's say you had a 65. If you have a 65, you can get a 5, a 10, you can get a 15, 20, 25, 30, or 35. So that means you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 19. 7 out of 19. That still gives you, so you have a 37% chance. You have a 37% chance of getting 100 or less from that. That's if you get a 65. Well, let's say you get a 40. Let's say you get a 40. So what can you get from that? We can get all of these numbers, plus you can get a 40. Whoop, no, 40. You can get a 40. Sorry. You can get a 40. 40. You can get a 45. You can get a 50. You can get a 55. And you get a 60. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12, you get 12 out of 19. That is 63%. So you've now increased your chances of getting something. So 40, you want to spin again. If you get a 45, you can do all these different combinations. So I'm going to leave that with you here, and this is how I figured it out. You can take a look at it and see how you can make it better. I gave you all the formulas. It's just a matter of probability. It's really basic probability, So if you take a look at that, so hopefully next time you guys are on The Price is Right, you'll take a look at that and go, I got 40. What did Chris say? Spin. Oh, I got 50. What should I do? Walk away. Especially if you're first. People think, oh, I'm going to spin again, I'll get like an 80. Yeah, but the chances of you getting an 80 are very, it's not going to work, because if you have 50, remember, you can only get a 5, a 10, a 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, or 50. Now it looks like a lot, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10 equal 10 out of 19. That's if you have a 50. Okay, so you have a 52% chance. Do you really want a 53% chance? Do you really want to take a chance? 53%. At 53%, do you really want to take a chance of having this thing blow up on you? I mean, this is all randomization, right? So this is, right now, just spinning this stuff, you have a 50% chance of getting it. Just spinning it twice according to randomization. You have 53% chance. Hey, you want to take that chance at 50? Go for it. Now at 55, you got a little bit of a problem, because you can get all of these, right? And at 55, you get rid of this one. So all of a sudden, you're going to be at 9 of 19. Which is going to give you 47%. So, hey, your choice, right? I'm just giving you the numbers. And it all depends on how hard you throw it, and all these different things. They did a whole study on velocity and how hard people were pushing the thing. But I'm just giving you the numbers, trying to maximize the probability of you being able to do this. So take it for what it's worth and go from there. And that is the show for today. I mean, that's it. But I wanted to just show you this in basic stats and show you a little bit of Excel and how that all works for you, and just go from there. So in the meantime, I want you to take a look at what you can share, right? Which you can, LOVE, learn, offer, value, and educate, based on what based on what you know and your experience and all those other things. But this is a bit of fun for you. And next time, what we'll talk about is a Price is Right game that I can show you as a very, very high probability, very, very high probability of you winning. All you have to do is aim for the center. Is aim for the center. Now, what may happen is I may put out that show. Price is Right, I don't like that very much. They look at this stuff, but they may look at it and go, "Oh, we got to change our mode on this because this guy has figured us out." But I'm going to tell you, there's a trick to it. I've been watching this show now for several years, and I'm looking at every single one, and on every single one that I've looked at where they've had this game, it's always ended up to the point where my wife says, if you're ever on this and they have this game, you won this game. I said, yeah, I know. I got it. It's like 100% probability you're going to win this game. So I'll show you that next time. And in the meantime, learn, offer, value, educate. Remember, lead with love.